Hey, yo, what's happening? It's your boy ATC, and make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you fucking with my content. You feel me? And we got Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War Episode 8 review. Let's get started. So the episode start off with the emergency team, like, searching around for the survivors and shit after the aftermath. Then word gets to Ichigo that Urahara and the others are safe. Shinji end up popping up on him, telling them Rukia and Renji are out of surgery so he can go talk to him. So they head up over there. Rukia and Ichigo end up exchanging a few words, and she thanks him for coming to protect the Soul Society. Then Shinji, seeing Ichigo looking down and shit, he tell him to keep his head held high because after all, he did drive away the enemy forces when he showed up. When he could get there, he did drive away Yhwach. Ichigo ended up getting word from Captain Mayori that he would like to speak to him about his broken Zanpakuto, then he ended up taking off. Then it flips to a meeting with all the captains, and the head captain's body cannot be found, is what they end up telling him. Then a report ended up giving to him, basically telling him Byakuya and Kenpachi survived, but they may not regain consciousness again. So that's fucked up. But we already know, what I'm talking about. These niggas they gonna make some comebacks, folks. You know what I'm talking about? You can kind of infer, nigga, that it's gonna be some comeback season. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, the captains start getting riled up, and then Shunsui start clapping and preaching, telling them to calm your ass down. If the head captain was alive, wouldn't be no fighting and bickering. Because the 13 court guard squad don't exist to agree to dead, or like cry or nothing like that. They exist to protect the Soul Society. Then it flips back to Mayori as he's speaking to Ichigo, telling him that he can't fix the Bankai. You know what I'm saying? The shit broke. He can't fix it. Then they get word that the Great Zero squad is coming. So shit, he like, Ichigo, come with your boy. We gonna take you over here. So they get up over there, and then when they meeting with the rest of the captains to meet the Great Zero squad, Ichigo see Hirako, and then he started talking to him about the Zero squad, asking questions and shit, and they end up telling them that they don't stay in the Sarate, they stay in the Royal Palace. Then the walls that normally protect the Royal Palace, but in case of the emergencies, like these walls will come out the sky to protect the Sarate, but these walls normally protect the Royal Palace. When they show up, it's a big ass staff like a pillar that comes falling out the sky, and they got all of the Zero Squad members in it, looking funky in the motherfucker. Come out that bitch like yo on some Killer Bee shit from Naruto or some shit. And they looking funky, they looking weird, but they looking like they some menacing force though. These goofy motherfuckers finna have some tricks up their sleeve. So and they only consist of 5 captains. They don't and combined, apparently their strength is greater than the entire 13 court guard squad combined. So they got killer strength, and it's only 5 of them. And Captain Unohana ended up getting chewed out by one of them. Apparently supposed to be her teacher or whatever. He telling her, them healing techniques I taught you should have came in handy during this invasion. Why you ain't put in work? And then Shunsui ended up saying, what y'all come here for? Let's get down to some business. And the big bald one, he explains that they came to rebuild the 13 court guard squad under the order of the Soul King, and that Ichigo got to come with him. Soifan ended up interrupting during the middle of this shit, and she started bitching like, where were y'all during this invasion? Why y'all didn't help? And one of the members, he hem her ass up real quick, and he like, shit, you talking about a turn, because see, technically, our job is to protect the Royal Palace, and your job is to protect down here, so bitch, be quiet. You know what I'm talking about? And then during the middle of this, one of them ends up saying that they got Rukia, Renji, and Byakuya, and they got Ichigo's sword. All that they need is Ichigo to go, and they can pull up off. They can take off. Unohana tries to say that they can't go, what I'm talking about, but she gets told to stand down because her medical power is mid, so she get told to stand down and shit because what they need she can't offer. And Ichigo end up saying shit, he'll be fine. He don't want to leave. He like, shit, I don't want to go up there. I don't want to meet nobody. Fuck around and get chewed the fuck out about some shit or some shit like that. So he telling them he can't leave, but they say that we got to take you for a different reason. Kon end up showing up with a message from Urahara this time, and it's Orihime in the gang saying like everybody all cool and shit, but they got somebody in the background though over there, and then he ended up coming in the room, kind of like you kind of get to see a glimpse of who the person is, and it looked like Green Jaw, but I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments who y'all think it might be or whatever the fuck. But it looked like Green Jaw, and Urahara basically telling them like they done reached an agreement or whatever with this guest, and not to worry, but to decide on your own what you really want to do. And then when he ended up getting off the phone with them, Ichigo asked the dude, well, shit, if I do come with y'all, can y'all fix the sword? Can y'all fix my Bankai? You're like, nah, we can't fix this. We can't fix the sword, but we can forge it into something else. We could forge it into, you know what I'm saying, something resembling your original sword. So Ichigo decides to come to the royal palace with him. Then it flips to Kukaku Shiba residence, and which was cool as fuck how this shit happens. It flips to this residence because this is how they gonna end up to travel back to the royal palace. She hits the ground with this fire flame fish shit, and when she hit the ground, it sends the big ass staff back up into the sky into the royal palace. When she do this, her brother get to asking her, was that the right thing to do? And she say if she didn't do it, the Soul Society will be finished in the next invasion. And then she said she had to do it, basically. Like, it wasn't no other choice. But she, you know what I'm saying, even though she know it's going to make her uncle sad, then it kind of showed this little picture of her, this other person, maybe could be the brother, and would look like it could be possibly Ichigo's dad. So, also, I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. But shit, like I say, we getting glimpses and Easter eggs and shit. But yeah, that look like Ichigo's daddy. Like, no cap. But then she ended up telling this guy Gangju that he gonna be in the next battle, so we might get to possibly see what this nigga Power's working with or whatever. He might be one of Ichigo's cousins and shit, strong than the motherfucker. So we get to see what's going on with that. It flips to Ichigo and the Zero Squad, and they arrive at the royal palace. She looking beautiful. The bald guy tell Ichigo ordinary Soul Reapers aren't allowed there, but then again, Ichigo ain't so ordinary. Ichigo ends up asking about the Okin. Bald guy says the Okin refers to their bones, which were transformed by the powers of the Soul King when they were chosen as a Zero Squad. Only two ways can you get into the royal palace. Either you have to come with them, or they choose you to come. Aizen apparently was trying to make an Okin and create things with his spiritual powers. That crazy spiritual power he got. He was trying to create the bones and shit and recreate some of them, like their beings, to reach the royal palace. The woman of the Zero Squad, one of them, she ends up telling Ichigo he schemed to take the place of a god by creating life and killing the king. But she telling him, you know what I'm saying, like, this nigga evil, but the Quincy King nigga, he that nigga. You know what I'm talking about? He really evil. So she letting him know right there, like, shit, you know, we might have to need Aizen in the future or some shit, because, you know what I'm saying, what you faced in the past, nigga, ain't shit compared to what this nigga trying to do. He trying to eradicate niggas, bruh. So after that, Ichigo asks, is he heading to meet the Soul King? And Kiriko ends up slapping a member of the Zero Squad. Kiriko also being a member of the Zero Squad, she ends up slapping one of the members, and she like, shit, you forgot to explain to Ichigo thoroughly about what he even here for. And then they ends up talking about the greater palace is where the Soul King resides. So we see a clip of that. And then you see these 5 other floating structures, each the size of what looked like to me a Soul Society type shit. These motherfuckers was the size of Soul Societies, and there's 5 of them. And it's called the Squad Zero Ridden. They're the Zero Squad's castles and homes. This motherfucker is massive, nigga. This place is huge, nigga. Royal Palace is fucking huge, nigga. And first, Ichigo has to go to the Kiridin one first with the big curly haired big ass bubble bowl hair look type dude from the Zero Squad, and he got to go soak in the hot springs. And soaking in the hot springs is supposed to soak out the damaged spiritual pressure during the battle that they just had during the invasion. And it's a place that they go to called the Red Hot Springs, and they got another little spring sitting beside it with a bunch of blood in it called the Blood Pond Hell. The Zero Squad member, he picked Byakuya up, and he who's completely squeezed out, and he take his ass and he throw him over there in the blood pond to go soak up over there. Then he explained to Ichigo that he draws out the blood in the white bone, and he'll replenish it with the blood pond, and he just does it several times, basically back and forth between the two ponds. That's how he drawing the bad blood out and putting the good blood back in, and that's the way how he heals. And then Ichigo get to asking some more questions, shit. He get to making the nigga agitated. Nigga say, shut up and soak. And then he just, he be telling him, like, basically, like, you strong enough, your spiritual pressure here is pretty fast. Like, you'll be done in the night, or you'll be feeling twice as good. And we get to see this nigga's name. It's Hot Springs Demon Tenjiro Korinji. And then it clips to the scene with the bald guy from the Zero Squad, and he's noticing that the Soul King is waking up, and we see this ominous, weird ass looking character that's supposed to be, you know, probably the OP character of motherfucking Bleach so far that we seeing in the anime verse, being the motherfucking Soul King. So yeah, this episode was fucking fire, G. Shit, man. Just because it was a bunch of new information and shit like that, to me, man, I'm giving this shit a 9, dog. This shit was fire. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, one love, two peace, and we out. You did.